Now, I don't do this types of videos. I usually just post my clips or whatever onto YouTube from my Twitch channel, which you should definitely be following. But I found this to be a specific topic of interest to me. And why? Because I've been playing video games for the longest time, and a lot of people have been talking about it. And I just wanted to give my input. I am in no means good at this, to be honest with you. But I thought, why not? Let's talk about it. So this is an article posted by IGN at December 17th, 2025. Okay, so this is recent. We're talking like a couple of days ago. It's titled Video Game Physical Software and Hardware Sales Just Had the Worst November in the US since 1995. And you gotta let that sink in a little bit because that was 30 years ago. That's crazy. I have a couple of notes here. Again, a lot of people have talked about this, but I just wanted to give it my own shot. And by no means, again, I am not good at this at all, but we're gonna try it. I have a couple of notes here. Let's talk about it. So the first thing is that I really wanted to talk about was like why is this really happening? Why is this article even being posted? And it's because of things that just don't even have to be said. This is things like rising prices in consoles and gaming, and in general, just the economical state and political of the world, like the political state of the world. There's a lot going on. It's very divided. I'm not going to go deep into it right now, but there's a lot of things that a lot of people know about, right? We all know about it. It's a known thing. We don't have to talk about it. I really wanted to talk about just November in general. November is known to be the best month for video games by far. That's just a known fact. Usually video games and video game consoles sell really well during the November months of the year. And there was an overall 4% drop within the year. Hardware, to be specific, was 27% and the lowest hardware spending since November 2005. To give perspective, that was when I was born. I am now 20 years old. And I'm in college, I have a job, and this was just crazy to me because November, like, that makes sense. November is, in fact, like, you don't even have to know a lot about economics to know that. Like, usually the holidays, obviously, is when people are going to be spending the most. And that kind of leads into the next thing, which is the percentage drops in all of them. You know, the big hitters, Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo. And something peculiar that kind of popped up out of nowhere that I and many people didn't even really know about. So I want to start off with Xbox, and they're down 70%. This is hardware, by the way. We're talking about Xbox being down 70%, PlayStation being down 40%, and Nintendo Switch 2, to be specific, was down 10% from Switch sales last year. Now, I don't know about you guys, but we all know that Xbox is just kind of out. They kind of opted out. They're really just a third party publisher now. They're not really like the big hitter like it used to be, and it is kind of sad, but I guess it's just how it runs its course. I don't. PlayStation was down 40%. That seems to be interesting to me, but not unexpected, right? I mean, PlayStation usually are the people who put up these really big consoles with really great graphics, and I can't say that I didn't see this coming either, because their stock runs low almost all the time. I rarely see a PlayStation Pro. I rarely see a PlayStation 5. Really just in my stores. It's usually always sold out, or if not, just like in very low stock. Meanwhile, compared to a Nintendo Switch 2, where it was down 10%, and this one was peculiar to me, and it interested me because every single time that I walk into a Target or a Walmart, I usually always end up seeing a Switch 2 and a Switch OLED. And this is no joke. Like, I'll walk into the town over, and then the town over after that, and I'll still see Switch 2 console. And something that they noted here within the article is that they were saying that this is due to Nintendo having better availability. Now, obviously, again, you don't have to be an economics major to know this. Is like, if you have availability, people are willing and able to buy more of your product, right? If you have more in the shelves, people are definitely gonna buy. And that's definitely the case for Nintendo here, where they kind of stuck up to their word. You know, Doug Bowser had the interview a couple of months ago, and he was saying it like, we will have enough stock. And that was the case. It was something said here also as well. This is actually a quote from them. This is saying the average price paid for a new Nintendo Switch in November 2017 was $309, right? We all know the base Switch was $309 back in 2017. But see, now if we adjust that for inflation, it is approximately $405 in November 2025. And that is the problem here. The profit margins of these big companies are trying to be met by raising these prices higher. Now, two things, right? We have to look at first the amiibo prices, right? Nintendo posted that they would be hiring all the other accessories, Joy-Cons, Pro Controllers, everything else, right? This included amiibos. The average amiibo costed about $13 to $15 back in the day when they first came out. Nowadays, they're costing around like $40, $30. And that by itself just kind of says a lot, right? I mean, because honestly, who in the world is going to go out and buy an amiibo unless it's on sale? The only reason why I got all the Sage amiibos from Tears of the Kingdom was because they were on sale for $10. Nobody's buying an amiibo for $40. Not to mention, if they don't do anything in the game, like that's really not just an incentive for somebody to go out and buy it. An incentive is putting it at its regular price. Anyways, I found that part interesting because I just wanted to give perspective to those who maybe are just only hearing the term, prices are rising. You need to look at the specifics here. November 2017, $309. And then adjusted for inflation, in November 2025, $405. And it's just crazy. So to end this segment off, I really just wanted to talk about a new kind of blip into the gaming industry, and it was Next Playground. For those who don't know, this is, I guess, an AI modeled console. It's almost like a brick with like a camera on it. If you don't know what it is, you should look it up. It's actually quite interesting. And I saw this on Amazon. I didn't even know what it was. It just sort of popped up, and apparently from what the article was saying, it was making it to be the third best-selling console in November of 2025. And that to me I found pretty interesting because I'm just like, okay, like I did not see this thing coming, but it's good. Apparently it's good. And they were only down by a small percentage. I don't know what specifically, but they were down very little compared to the big hitters. And that just says a lot because the price of this console is $249.99 so $250 basically. And obviously this comes with a subscription. Apparently they have a subscription. I don't know the specific price for it, but you got to pay for a subscription. And I'm thinking like, maybe that is the new way. Maybe a subscription is just the new way to do things. Not that I want it to be, but maybe it just is what it is. This was something that I really just didn't expect in general, and I felt like it was super interesting to kind of look over this article. If you really want to look at it in depth and really just find the specifics about it, I think you should. I'll put in the link in the description. Yeah, man, this is crazy. This is exactly what the gaming industry does to itself when it's raising prices. It's greedy and it tries to reach these profit margin. I'm not a business person, so I couldn't really tell you if these are like super important, but apparently to them it really is, because every single year it just seems like these big companies just don't care anymore, and they are just blatantly saying it in your face. Like, it is just blatantly clear that they just want to reach the margins instead of just giving us value. I mean, for God's sakes, if you look at the sales from last month, right, I believe it was like a Black Friday sale. What were those sales? I did not see any sales. I saw games that, their discounted price should have been their base price, right? And again, that just says a lot about really just in general what's going on in this area. And it's really being effective. It's really being affected by everything, man. So yeah, that's about it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I don't know. This is crazy. Gaming prices, man. Gaming prices.